proper Charlie test in here. I love that you can just do that.
I hope the Topher would be proud of that one.
That was a really good drift. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Jeez.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie and Chris from Daily Motor, and we, despite Chris's face, are excited because we have a Toyota GR86 out there, and honestly, it wouldn't matter which car we had. If we had a manual to go drive, I would be excited to do so.
Yes, that's
so
right.
We are going to head out, take a look at it, get behind the wheel, and perk Chris up a little bit because he's been low on sleep, and I'm hoping that a naturally aspirated manual car will pump him up. Yes, look at it, so red. I also appreciate how they parked it. Look at all the space they put on the right side.
Yeah, it's polite.
It's very red. Now you have a good friend who owns a gray one of these, and we also have Chris, the Topher, who has a blue BRZ. So we don't really have much time in red ones. Although the only other one you and I have driven was red at the autocross.
That's right. Yeah, it looked just like this. Maybe it was this car.
It actually might be this very car. I think these look so good.
They do.
I really do.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chris, but I prefer the looks of the GR86 to the BRZ.
And for either of them, I like that Toyota smoothed things out a little bit and made it less boy racer look and more classy. I almost kind of think it looks a bit like a 5th gen Viper in the headlights.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Yep.
All right.
But forget the looks. A car like this is to be enjoyed from behind the wheel.
Oh, good. And we have the Alcantara seats. Wow, it's hot in here.
But does it smell like dog?
No, the dog person must not be able to drive a manual.
Or maybe it's the...
Look at this.
So savage. Yes, for cleanliness. In case the car were to smell like dog, you could wipe it down. Look, very quality clicky clicks. Car's put on Symphony channel. That's appropriate. That's what a dress car should be delivered with.
That's right.
I kind of wish it had an analog rev counter.
Yeah, but this
it looks
can move
analog,
faster.
but can it? Yeah, I suppose you're right. Needles take time. Right. How many miles? Ooh, 4,800 miles on this.
It's broken in.
It's well broken in.
Yes.
Press car, meaning it's had a tough 4,800 miles.
Ooh, my vent isn't open over here. Ooh, look at that. Look how the vent opens and closes.
Yeah, very
It's
tight
neat.
too. You can see it.
Got some nice Alcantara up here on the door panels, and the upper door panels, I should say.
Please excuse the fan blowing right now. We have to cool it off in here. It's toasty.
There's dog hair on the ceiling.
Now, is there seriously?
Or is it human hair? Looks like dog hair to me.
For those of you who haven't tuned into our earlier videos, Chris has been taking issue with the number of cars we've had.
Okay,
Dog recently.
I don't have a problem with dogs.
No.
I don't even have a problem with having dog in the car, but you have to clean up after it. You don't just leave the dog hair and dander and shit in the car. Excuse me, you'll have to bleep that, Charlie, if you choose to.
Quite cross. Not many new cars have the simple feel of the steering and the clutch, the throttle, everything in this car. It's a thin steering wheel. But we are having that awful fake noise.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Can you turn that off?
Hardly turn the blinker off. No, you cannot. You have to
pull a
fuse.
fuse.
As the Topher did. Although I think the fuse is right in the like the side of the glove box. It's not in it, but like you have to open the door and there's a panel you can pull open. Something like that. Yeah, that is quite bad.
God, it's like ear piercing.
Don't do it. Okay, you're gonna do
At least they went to the far lane.
it. You know?
I like when people do that and they act like they're going to go to the far lane and then they cut back in. You in track mode?
I'm trying to be, am I?
You might have to be stopped to change it.
Dude, why does Toyota do that? You can't even turn off traction control while you're moving in Toyotas. There we go. Nice, you can.
That was an aggressive heel toe.
Yeah. Clutch feels a little...
Simulated because it has the helper spring.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in track mode, my gauge shifts. So I guess I am in track mode. Now it's like a line.
Linear. It's horizontal,
Yes.
as one may say.
before he even drove the car home from the dealership, I think he had disabled the fake noise.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, the steering is so direct. It's not too little power. It's better than the automatic we had last year, that's for sure, the BRZ.
Yes. It's pretty quick also.
Yeah. Oh, that escape is
The older generations of these cars, the Scion FRS, the Toyota 86, they would always get grief for being so slow.
Not only were they slow, but they had a weird torque dip in the middle too, and you sort of like fell on your face and then it picked back up.
Yeah, no, this feels like it has power everywhere.
It doesn't feel super advanced in the braking, steering, anything. It doesn't feel like an expensive car, but I kind of like that. Because you get in a BMW or something, you drive it around here, and you're kind of like, you're not testing the car at all. You're not even pushing it close to what it's capable of. And if you were to, that would be entirely irresponsible.
Yeah.
This, you can actually row through some gears, experience that satisfying shifter.
It's a quick car.
Yeah.
It is quite quick. It feels torquey.
Mm-hmm. Other thing, there's no rev hang. It's a very responsive motor. The camera seems to have gone a bit sideways.
I wonder why.
That's fun. Would you like to have a go?
Sure. Brake test.
Manual parking brake, very good.
Gotta have that in a car like this.
I think there's about as much room in these seats as the Camaro, in the rear seats.
Oh yeah, except you can actually see out of this car.
Yeah. Good
beautiful.
odor.
That'll add to it. Wow, that stinks.
Real bad.
Yum, the inside of the car is gonna smell like that now.
Good. Interior is quite black, but I don't really mind that. I wouldn't go as far as to call it boring.
Why will because the turn signal's on. I was like, what is going on? There's a little bit of rev hang.
Maybe when you were at such a low RPM.
No, it's got a little bit of rev hang.
You think?
Yeah.
Definitely not as bad as something like the Civics.
Well, no, but
that seems safe.
yeah, it's sketchy. I don't like the turn signals.
Too loud?
No, they don't click into place.
Oh, yes.
I do like this shifter though. It's very notchy.
Mm-hmm. It's better than a BMW shifter.
There's an orange Nissan behind us.
We could have been driving the Rogue and matched with them.
Could have been roguing.
You're gonna hang it out into this 2-lane road?
No.
Yes, you are a little bit. It doesn't smooth the inputs out at all.
No, it doesn't.
Which is kind of nice. It forces you to be a better driver.
I wanted to catch the RST Tahoe.
The really shitty trim?
That's funny.
Or is that the really slow trim? Why is that RST badge so large too? It almost looks like it's
idea.
aftermarket.
I like this car. God, the steering is so direct.
It really does speak to someone like the Topher, and you can see why he went out and bought one right away.
100%.
I know he has a Civic Type R on order now, but I think he'll prefer driving this. I really do.
Yeah. Though we have not driven the new Civic Type R yet.
No,
maybe.
I
But I mean,
it's a
just
conjecture.
being that it's a front-wheel drive platform.
Yeah. Well, and the Civic Type R is typically a car that does insist upon itself, and you have to take very seriously. It's made for the track and everything. That's not the ethos of this car. This car is just lighthearted, puppy dog, have fun, toss it around, low stakes. Which, to be fair, disappointed him when he took it out to the track because it overheated.
It's true. Well, it didn't.
It heat soaked.
The brakes.
Yes. The car did not react well to heat.
Yeah. Well, what else? It says GR on the start-stop button.
Yes, that's great.
GR86. It's GR86.
GR86. I love just the clicky clicks and the functional buttons that are just very straightforward.
Yeah.
Heated seat controls. It is a bit of a shame that it feels more Subaru than it does Toyota.
Yeah. No, that's why I've never been like super enthusiastic about these. I have been really wanting to spend some time in one, but it's never been one of those cars where I'm just like I have to have one.
You got auto down windows on the passenger side, which is something you do not get in the Nissan Rogue. I know there are a lot of people cross-shopping this
In the Nissan Rogue, yeah.
The little cross-stitching here is a nice touch. That just steps it up just enough to be like...
Oh, right.
I wonder if the base car gets that, because I assume we're an inexpensive.
We are, because it has Alcantara. Is that for us?
No, it's USB Type-C. Interesting.
It's red. I figured maybe it was GR branded. Are there not USB Type-C ports in here?
Sorry, it's like a... First of all, no. And second of all, it's to plug into a USB Type-C device, not Lightning.
Oh, I see.
Like $32,000 for this one. It's a premium.
Really?
Does premium for Toyota mean upper trim?
I think so. I mean, it has...
For the Subaru, it means lower trim.
Yeah, but this one has the Alcantara and,
Yeah,
and
this must be the nice one.
so this has to be the nice one. Okay. Should probably not do donuts in this parking lot.
No, that's something I used to do, but I don't
Allegedly.
anymore. Allegedly.
Allegedly used to do that.
This tracks may allegedly have been from some sort of General Motors product of the V8.
Really?
Yes. Actually, also maybe with a 4-6 cylinder. So we'll be spending the week with the GR86, and we're quite looking forward to it. Not a dent in the steering wheel. Ooh. Sounds kind of weird. Sort of vibrated the car. And we'll be reporting back to you with any of our little observations. Certainly won't take it street racing or anything. Yeah, you like stock controls for, so does Alyssa.
Yeah, they're just so easy to use.
Yeah, don't you know?
Don't you know?
And...
Ooh. Same pedals that are in my IS300. They look identical.
Yeah, parts bin.
Parts bin.
Came out to the car today and was greeted with a low tire pressure light. So I dismiss this using the steering wheel button and I get my TPMS screen. Okay, great. I got, I'm watching the 4 tires, left rear is low, and then that pops back up. No matter how many times you clear it, it keeps telling you that it's low. It's like, yes, I get it. I'm acknowledging that. I want to watch the tire pressure as I get to my place, and then that goes up again. Mild annoyance. We're here. We're wrapping up our week with the Toyota GR86 in bread. Should that be the thumbnail as you presenting the car?
Bread. Track bread?
Track bread. That's the name of the color.
Bread like loaf of bread, or bread like bread for the track?
Like bread. Yeah. It's a cool car. I think this is going to be one of the ones that we actually have to drive to wrap up our review.
Yeah,
I think
we
that's
probably
important.
should. Yeah. It is Ann Driver's car.
I think the lasting idea for me with this car is I'm not going to miss it. I'm not going to pine for it. Remember when we had that Miata that we didn't drive?
You're a big fan of the Miata.
I am. And we were like...
I got it combined like 2 hours of driving in that Miata.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a bit sad. We were like, it's a bummer that we're not driving this Miata. Are you going to demonstrate to the viewers how obnoxious this will get if you don't put your seatbelt on?
Yeah.
And
we didn't do that in post. That's just how it is.
This will never stop. I could put the parking brake on, everything. If he were not to put his seatbelt on,
What was that?
what happened?
There was an additional beep. Maybe it was your GoPro. Jesus. The problem is, it's the Subaru Bing Bong.
Right, yeah.
Which is just infuriating.
Everything Subaru-y about this car makes it worse.
That is true. Well, it is a Subaru, though.
I know.
It just is a Subaru.
I don't think... Why? Why do you wave me? I mean, I guess... Do I have the right of way here? Because I'm going straight. I probably do.
No.
Touché, Mr. Toyota. I wonder if this car will make it onto Car Driver's 10 Best list again this year, because it's got a lot of merit, but I don't think it's as holistic of a good car as a lot of the other cars we praise.
Right.
Like Civic Si, for example. This is much more fun to drive spiritedly than a Civic Si, but a Civic Si is so much more of a cohesive package altogether that I'd rather own the Civic. And I think we see that with somebody like Tedward, who, huge driving enthusiast, owns BMWs, a 911, all these things, and he chose a Civic Si as his daily, not a GR86.
So my thing with this car is that it isn't enjoyable to drive slow.
No.
Like you can't just get in this and go run your errands and go to the grocery store and be content with it.
Right.
This is something that you go out on a back road, go for a blast, row through the gears, and it is satisfying to drive quick.
Very. Except you asshole.
I found the most pleasure in this car when I went out.
When you turned my heated seat on.
That was actually the most pleasure, was turning the heated seat on. But apart from that, and it's getting that rev match, because it is a little bit challenging in this car to actually get the most out of your rev matches and your smooth shifts.
Well, the engine is so responsive, and so you give it a little blip, and it almost hard to
overdoes it.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, so.
No, it's very satisfying. It would be more satisfying without that fake noise. And I've been ruined by the Lexus UX, surprisingly enough, because that has a nice convenient button.
Turn it off,
If every car with fake noise had a button like that, the world would be a better place.
That's right.
Now, the Topher says it's very easy to disable that. He did it before he even left the dealer lot on his BRZ.
Of course he did.
But it would just be nice to have, to be able to do, because listen to this. It doesn't sound good.
It revs pretty high.
It does, yeah.
It sounds less like a boxer engine.
It's because of the fake noise.
I know. That's what I mean. It's like they pipe in more of like an inline 4 sound.
Yeah. And for not being the torquiest or most powerful motor, it's very fast. Yeah, I'm plenty okay with the power.
It's very quick. Oh yeah. The old FRS was not this quick. Let me get the proper Charlie test in here. I love that you can just do that.
I hope the Topher would be proud of that one.
That was a really good drift.
It's such a great chassis. It really is. I had this out in the rain yesterday, and you almost need to have one of these cars in the wet to start to experience how much you can dance with it like that. And the power's there. You don't have to wait for a turbo to kick in or anything. I really like you said, so much about this car from a sporting aspect.
Right.
The problem is that isn't how you drive most of the time. And when you do want to just go into 6 and drive it casually, I mean, the ride's good. Yeah. But it's not super quiet in here. The seat comfort was okay after fuel economy test, but fuel economy wasn't fantastic. We got 32, which on one hand,
I feel like that's pretty good.
But when you consider the size of this vehicle and the fact that pretty much anything else of this size...
Subarus aren't efficient, though.
No, Subarus are not efficient. But a lot of other cars, I mean, I bet you the GR Corolla will get better fuel economy than this.
It only has 3 cylinders.
Yeah, but it's probably going to be a more exciting car to drive. It's probably going to be more expensive.
Yeah.
But...
God, I can't wait for that car.
Jeez. Chris is driving it here in the next week or two. And,
he is?
Yeah, he's going out to an event.
Seriously? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think he's just stopped telling us about his events.
Okay. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Jeez.
No, I like this amount of power. I really do. There's some fresh 11s here for people drag racing. Neat.
This is a popular drag racing spot, allegedly.
Yes.
No, it's not, actually. Just kidding.
I like the power mount. I like cars that you can actually use that power, and I got to get through 3 hardy shifts there without doing much over highway speeds.
Right. What's your opinion on this particular trim of the GR86 having grippier summer tires as opposed to Michelin primacies that the Topher has on his BRZ?
I'm okay with it because you can see how easy I was still able to slide it out in dry weather.
Right.
So yeah, I have no problem with that.
That's a car right there.
There you go. That's actually remarkably clean.
It is quite. Oh,
I mean,
I guess
that
for Michigan, and it's all-wheel drive as well.
That's the problem with white cars is when they get rusty, they look like shit. If that were black, you wouldn't notice that drip.
You wouldn't even see it.
Yeah.
I picture that being a car that you like, an all-wheel drive Astra.
No.
Well, you don't like GMs though. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about the vents? It's kind of a neat thing.
We're digging, aren't we? Vents are cool. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, I have a thing.
Okay.
So while this is shut, right, you're resting your elbow on the console. 9 times out of 10, I hit this with my elbow and open it.
And then it's very uncomfortable. That is the thing. I wanted to ask Chris Amos where he puts his phone in this car. Because here is a good place for it, but it only has wired CarPlay, so you have to be plugged in. So you have to put your phone in here.
I was going to say
which
mine.
Is a very
I was putting mine in here.
Ungood spot.
Yeah.
It's a car that it's tough because you say don't get the Miata, get the BRZ because it's got 4 seats, it's got a roof, all these things, but it's still tough as a daily driver. I know the Topher has one, and he would call it his daily driver, and he did have a BRZ for a very long time as a daily driver, but he had it tuned differently, and he was single, and I don't know. I drove his car, and I enjoyed his BRZ that he had, his first one, much more than this car.
Yeah.
He just had it so well dialed in.
I just think if you're going to spend $30,000, you might as well just go get a 987.1 Cayman S.
Daily Motor top tip: if you want a reliable new sports car with a warranty at a good price, don't. And instead, go buy yourself a Porsche.
Same amount of money, 987.1 Cayman S.
And that will appreciate.
And it will appreciate. If you get a manual and like a good one, then it will.
You know what's interesting is I don't think this car would do as well as it is if there were more market competition. If Ford hadn't dropped out of the game with the Focus ST and the Fiesta ST, if Mazda hadn't made the Turbo 3 be so boring and grown up rather than making it kind of fun and spunky and sporty. Even, I mean, there's one fewer option from Hyundai now with the Veloster being gone.
Sure.
Veloster, as a model. Because I would rather have a Civic Si. I would rather have a Veloster N. I'd definitely probably rather have a Civic Type R. I just say it that way because we haven't driven it yet. This has a lot of good going for it. But even in the live drive, a lot of people said they've taken ND Miata, which surprised me.
I need to spend more time in a Miata before I can give that, because I haven't really spent that much time in NDs. I know we've had 2, but I've spent maybe a day and a half combined.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've spent more time in this. I did go out on a proper drive in this car, and I did have fun.
Yes.
But prior to it, I also went out for a proper drive in my Cayman S. So it was a very back-to-back thing, and they're very similarly priced, So I don't know. It would be tough for me to find a reason to buy this, but I don't know. We're in a unique position. I don't think I would buy one of these, but
yeah, it's
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it,
but would I buy one? Probably not.
Right. No, I think that's where I'm at as well.
Yeah. But I would be remarkably excited for a friend if they were buying one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, if anyone came up to me and was like, I'm going to buy one of these, as long as they said they're buying the Toyota, I'd be like,
right,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it makes for a great track car. I think it makes for...
I'm terrified by what's happening right now.
Yeah, this looks way too degenerate to be even close to me right now.
I am genuinely terrified of that.
Oh, they're probably going to steal our cats.
Probably.
Yep. Yeah, I think it makes for a great track car, a great sporty car. It'd make for a great rental vehicle if you were doing a Turo or something like that, or going out to the mountains and you needed a car to throw around and still be decent and comfortable. It does a lot of good things. I think this 3rd gen looks the best out of any BRZ. It's more grown up. I just think the daily driverness is not smooth enough and enjoyable enough to justify it.
Unless you have the automatic,
but
if you have the automatic, then
you should
rethink your
you got other issues. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the BRZ or the 86, check the links in the description. And we'll see you on the next one. We're Charlie and Chris with Daily Motor, and as always, drive on. Or in this case, drift on.